Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session of Caltrans Career Connections for our transportation land surveyors. Just kind of wanted to thank you guys for joining us for this session that is being recorded live today. If you are missing it or know anybody that is missing it, we will be able to send you guys the link to the YouTube channel, which will have it broadcasted live. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that way we can get along with our presentation. So my name is Russell Calvin. I am a recruitment analyst here with the California Department of Transportation. I've been with Caltrans for about 2.5 years, and I graduated with my bachelor's degree from CSU Stanislaus. We are also joined by my colleague, Megan. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Megs.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Aziz. I have been with the Department of Transportation a little over a year. My 1 year was in March. Very happy to be here. I graduated in 2020 in a degree in anthropology from Sacramento State University.
Cool.
Mhm.
And then today we are joined by our subject matter expert, or SME as we like to call him, Daniel Ortega. Daniel graduated from Fresno State with a bachelor's degree in geomatics engineering in 2013. Officially, geomatic engineering, aka land surveying, is the management of global infrastructure through the collection, measuring, monitoring, and achieving geospatial data. This is a fancy way of saying he's an expert in the art of measuring literally everything from the ground to the satellites. Daniel began his career in the private sector and recently started working at Caltrans earlier this year in April of 2024 in the right-of-way engineering department in Sacramento. He's a licensed and practical professional land surveying in California and Nevada, and is also an SUAS licensed drone operator as well. Daniel, go ahead and say hi. And did I miss anything about you?
No, that was perfect. Thank you. Nice to be here too. Thank you.
Cool. We definitely will be touching in on a couple of things that you'll be able to provide some information on, especially the private sector to the public sector and the use of drones.
Cool.
So today's agenda, we'll talk a little bit about our department, who we are, what we do, opportunities we offer in transportation surveying. Daniel's going to give us some insight on his position, how we got started, some of the cool projects he's worked on so far or is currently working on. I know we had a little discussion earlier about some things that you're doing right now with teaching as well. We will then get into some details regarding our benefits, transportation surveying positions, how to apply, because that's a pretty big one, right? The difference between applying private sector versus public sector. And finally finish up with a short little round of Q&A. Please wait until the Q&A session begins to ask your questions. Just to go over a few housekeeping rules. Please utilize the chat feature for all questions that you have during the entire session. If it is a situation where you want to ask it then, Megan will be answering any of those questions that she can in the chat. She's also going to be dropping in some key links in the chat box to go ahead and help assist us with any of that stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to show some short little video real quick about Caltrans and who we are.
Ready to embark on a career that combines technology, innovation, and a positive impact on the environment and community? Look no further than Caltrans, the California Department of Transportation. Join us as we explore some of the state-of-the-art technologies that we are incorporating into our projects to engineer the future of transportation. Safety is our top priority. We believe that using drones is a game changer in ensuring safer roads for everyone. Surveying hazardous areas, inspecting bridges and tunnels, and assessing road conditions without putting workers at unnecessary risk is a great advantage. Our acquisition of state-of-the-art UAS unmanned aircraft system technology allows us to be in multiple places at once, access high-risk areas safely, and fly instantly from anywhere. We are one of the first departments of transportation in the nation to utilize this equipment. With over 100 trained drone pilots statewide, we are revolutionizing the way we utilize technology, allowing us to make informed decisions that lead to improved safety measures and faster response times. Piloting the use of augmented reality helps us to visualize a new roadway, structure, utility, or feature in the actual dimensional space upon which it will be built. We're work zone ready with well-equipped lighting on hard hats, ensuring the visibility of our field workers is not compromised and giving us the ability to assess work sites at all hours of the day. We aim to provide a safe and reliable transportation network that serves all people and respects the environment while honoring our values of engagement, equity, innovation, integrity, and pride. At Caltrans, your career options are limitless. We provide comprehensive job rotation programs, mentorship opportunities, and a supportive work environment that encourages personal and professional growth. Whether you're an aspiring engineer, a tech enthusiast, or a community-driven individual, Caltrans has the perfect path to start your career. Do yourself a favor. Come and join us. You would make us better.
All right. So in our department, opportunities are statewide. Working for Caltrans allows for diverse opportunities up and down the state of California, whether you prefer mountains of Lake Tahoe, Yosemite, redwood rainforests, coastlines such as Big Sur, or in some cases, the comfort of your own home, we've got you covered. On this next slide, you're going to be able to see that Caltrans is actually split up into 12 districts. Our department starts all the way up at the top at the Oregon border right over here with districts 1 and 2 and stretches all the way down where Mexico begins right down here in District 11. Which district, if you guys can, go ahead and put down inside the chat box, what district are you guys looking to potentially work in? Of all the 12 districts that we have, headquarters, I guess, is technically at 13th.
That's right.
What are you seeing in there, Megan?
I see 1,
Okay, cool.
which is
Eureka. That's the
helpful
Eureka.
because, yeah, so okay, we got a 7. North and south here.
Cool. So random fun fact while those are still coming in, Caltrans headquarters in Sacramento has the most employees, over 5,000 workers. It's followed by District 4 and District 7 with a bit over 2,500 workers. But I saw we had a 1, 7. What else we got?
We have a 10 and 5.
Ooh, 10 and 5. Okay, so that's right there in the well, I mean 10's where I'm at, even though I'm out of headquarters, but and then 5, the San Luis Obispo area.
Mhm.
Daniel, you've only been working with us for a short time, but before you came on with us, were you specifically in the Sacramento area, or where were you at?
Actually, I was living in San Bernardino.
So
And I
you would have
was-
been down in like District 8.
That's right.
And
And
but you were doing land surveying work out in District 8?
I was actually working for Tower District, near District 8.
Okay. And then and then from District 8, you do not straight to Sacramento. I believe we had a conversation. You went somewhere else, right? You went out to the Bay Area?
Yeah, I have actually a house up in Vallejo, and
Okay.
my girlfriend and I chose to move up. So,
Okay, cool. So you went from 8 to 4, basically,
Mhm.
and then out to headquarters in District 3. In the district, our headquarters was within District 3.
That's right.
So our department's mission is to provide a safe and reliable transportation network that serves all people and respects the environment. Our vision is a brighter future for all through a world-class transportation network. Investigating nature-based solutions along with a multitude of other strategies. On collaborative community and partner engagement, measuring impacts on public health and community vibrancy, and prioritizing the investment in historically harmed segmented communities. So what makes Caltrans unique? That's like a big thing for us, right? Uh, Land surveying. So for us, it's very multifaceted professional opportunity for our department surveying in the following fields: preliminary mapping, construction, cadastral, photogrammatic surveying, GPS, geodetic control networks. A lot of that stuff, to be honest, me as a normal person, Daniel, we already had this conversation. Not being in land surveying, I don't know too much about it. Um, but from what I have, based off of what we discussed, land surveyors play a key role in accomplishing a lot of Caltrans missions, right? Land surveying is fundamental to all civil engineering work. Surveying provides the geospatial foundation and continuity of planning, design, property acquisition, constructions, operation, and maintenance of capital improvement projects. Geospatial surveying data includes, but not limited to, roadway layouts, boundaries, land descriptions, imagery, and geodetic control data. Um, Daniel, which spots right now are you working in? I believe you said you're touching base on a couple of them, right?
Well, since I'm in the right-of-way sector, I'll be more of your preliminary mapping,
Okay.
switching property boundaries and whatnot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what makes us a little bit unique from the private sector is that we are multifaceted professional opportunities for our department surveyors in the fields of preliminary mapping, construction, cadastral, photogrammatic surveying, GPS, and geodetic control networks. We offer surveyors online digital delivery of course for upward mobility and preparation for licensures because we recognize the opportunity of growth within our own. And Daniel, I'm going to let you explain a little bit too about how that kind of works. Because like I said, we had a little discussion earlier, right? And you were talking about teaching a class.
Yeah.
Perfect. We also guarantee a 40-hour work week for those of our departments because we value work-life balance. Using the chat, how many land surveyors do you guys think that we have? Daniel, do you know this answer?
I do not, but I know we are the one agency that has the most land surveyors of all
Yeah.
the agencies.
We don't have any guesses just yet. Okay. We have one. We have 200, 500.
200 and 500 is what they're thinking.
Yeah, those are our guesses on how many land surveyors we have in Caltrans. Are they close? 40. We got 40.
It actually is about, sorry, I'm gonna pull it up right here in the notes. $465 is what we're looking at.
All right. It looks like Faith or Derek,
Cool.
you were the closest. Congratulations.
465 is what we are looking at for land surveyors. Sorry, hold on one second. Let me just get this to get back to the way it's supposed to be. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, so Daniel, I want to kind of turn this over to you now, because I know you're going to be able to answer a lot of the questions that everybody else in here right now is kind of wanting to get to the nitty gritty of. You ready to answer a couple of questions that I might have for you?
Let's do it.
All right. So what made you choose Caltrans? Why Caltrans? You said you worked private sector before this down in District 8. What made you want to make this jump over to us in the public sector?
Yeah, actually, you just saw that video. It was awesome. I mean, you can see that they're about innovation and getting the best technology you can get. And also, too, you're not pigeonholed in the one thing. You can move and you can grow in other departments. So that's really big in a land surveyor's perspective, just because, there's many facets of it. So just like I was just saying, and you can have many disciplines like the right-of-way engineering, relinquishments and vacations, not to be mistaken by a family trip or anything. CAD software, GIS, GNSS, new technology like drones and mobile scanners.
Okay. So working in the private sector, you probably weren't getting as much
And
access to the newer technologies and stuff like that.
yeah, here you're getting everything. It just depends on exactly what you want to do. And you're not looked at if you were to just come in and 4 months later you want to try something different. It's a little bit different. You can actually change a position much easier than it is in the private sector.
Okay. What do you think sets, besides the technology, what do you think sets Caltrans apart from the private sector?
So I would probably actually say the work-life balance in this case, because it's not for everybody. You're in the private sector, you're kind of married to a job, and you could potentially work long hours. Not saying that's a bad thing, but a lot of people actually like that lifestyle. In my particular opinion, I wanted a little bit more home life balance and could be able to go out with my dogs and my girlfriend. So
Got
that
you.
was a
So what was
major.
randomly, what was your schedule? Obviously, I know this is different for every company.
Mm.
What was your schedule typically like in the private sector?
So there,
Like, was it
it
a
would,
set schedule? Was it not?
it was a pretty set schedule. However, there was days where, if we're out on a railroad, they need answers right now, or they need help right now. Sometimes we have a crew out at night, so we have to answer a call at 10 p.m. or 2 o'clock in the morning. It just depends on exactly what's going on. And,
Mhm.
so it just my schedule was pretty set, but there's those days and weeks where you had to be able to make yourself available for those phone calls.
And then what about now? Now, with you being out of headquarters, you're technically out of headquarters,
Yes.
right? A few floors below where we're at.
Exactly.
What's the schedule now? Monday, you're Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Are you doing this 7 to 4?
I'm on a 980, and so I have every other Monday off, which is
Okay,
fantastic for me. And I work the 9 hours that I'm supposed to, and the rest of the
take
time is allocated with my family.
yeah, and then take the every other Monday off. I do that too. Um, I'm not land surveying, but it is something else offered over to me as well. So I take the um, 9 days on, and then the 880. So I love it. Megan, I know you're looking forward to when that gets offered to offered to you to do the every other
I
day,
am.
every other rotating day off.
Hmm.
Um, so what led you to your career in surveying? I know that's a question that some people kind of just are curious about people's like choices, like what made you want to pick surveying? There's a lot of other fields out there, and surveying is not the biggest field per se, or major, but
Mhm.
what drove you towards geomatics and surveying?
So actually, I could take a step back with that because actually coming out of high school, I had no idea what land surveying was. I wanted to get into architecture or engineering, and I thought that's where I wanted to go until actually I got into the field and started doing it. It wasn't until I actually sat in a Fresno State open house where I actually sat in a lecture stating, "Hey, you can have engineering and you can have the field experience at the same time." And I thought, "Hey, I like hiking and I like engineering and math." So it kind of married both together, and I'm really glad I made the decision to land surveying. And then just on top of all that, you get the awesome technology that's coming out now. I mean, I didn't predict that whenever I was coming out of high school or anything and getting into surveying. But yeah, you have all this new technology. You have a lot to look forward to.
Hmm.
Drones.
I know. We've been, like you were saying, you're a drone operator. Um, there's actually been a really heavy, I wouldn't say push, but I guess heavy advancement in use of drones within Caltrans.
Yeah.
It seems like every department is figuring out a way to at least have drones being used on multiple facets, whether it be through surveying, or I know there's the one where there's the drone that they're using to shine spotlights.
Hmm.
um, there's a couple of those, and I was even talking to our director at a conference that we're going on, Tony Tavares, and he was mentioning even a push for people that know how to operate drones, because as you were saying, advancements in technology like that, drone operations is here now. It's not a thing of necessarily the future, but it's available to us, and having people that have the skills to operate drones is key for us now with the way things are kind of moving forward.
Right.
Cool. So what projects are you most proud of or are you currently working on?
Well, as of right now, as a right-of-way agent, I'm actually learning. I've been here for 4 months, so I've been learning the ropes within right-of-way engineering. I do a lot of the teaching as much as I can. Right now, I'm actually teaching today, and so I'm teaching kids that are coming into the workforce about right-of-way engineering. So that, in my opinion, that's a lot of fun.
So those kids that you're teaching, are they they're Caltrans employees already, or what is this? What are the students that you're teaching? Are they not they're not employed by Caltrans, or are they?
Yeah, they are. They're a temporary position right now until they pass their right-of-way engineering core competency.
Okay, cool. So then pretty much what it is, and then they'll apply. So these are people that haven't passed their tests just yet, and as Caltrans will sit there and help them get through it, kind of like how we were talking about with the upward mobility and helping them get their licensing and everything like that. It is kind of an assistance that we'll do with them for certain things like that to continue their growth, right?
That's right.
Cool. All right. So, what advice would you give to recent or upcoming graduates or anybody who's interested in joining our department?
Getting into Lancer Bank or just my department?
Just we'll go into land surveying first, and then we'll go into the department, land surveying in general.
Yeah, I would say ask a lot of questions. I think one of the most important things is actually get a mentor or a set of teachers that you can talk to,
Mhm.
and attend college open houses and opportunities like that. Take advantage of job fairs, research. Give yourself a lot of the opportunity to get into some of these things because it's not. I mean, it's free first of all, and it's a good way to reach out to even students that are in those positions right now. That would help you gain some more understanding of what's actually out there. So
Gotcha. And then getting into our department, what advice would you give people to get into your department or get into the state service in general?
I would say if you're trying to get into a survey department within Caltrans, like we're doing right now, come into a Caltrans connections, talking to any of the professionals at a conference. That's a good way to actually get into it, and just talking to any of the current employees like myself, or look on LinkedIn, and you could have any of us reach out to us and have any conversation with me at least, about the
Yeah.
we're in here. So
And I know Megan is in charge of LinkedIn, right, Megan? So
Yeah.
you would, if anybody, I don't work LinkedIn personally. I work the Handshake platform and Career Connection. So if anybody does, is it pretty easy for somebody to just message you, Megan? Like message
Oh
you
yeah.
and say that they're interested?
Yep.
And it goes directly over to your inbox, and there's not really an issue or
Yeah.
anything like that, right? Cool.
Yep. I check it every day.
Perfect. Yeah, that's how I do it. And then if anybody is on Handshake, which is the other platform, Daniel, like you guys would send an email or a message and it would go directly over to me. I check that every day or every other day as well. Perfect. All right. So we're going to go into a couple of other things. Thank you, Daniel, for everything you shared with us. And then I'll reach back to you during this session to go ahead and answer and help me out with a couple other questions. But we're going to go into something that a lot of people start kind of asking questions about now, which is the benefits and like what do we offer? Because as Daniel was saying, it's a little bit different, state versus private sector. But that's kind of one of the other things that sets us apart, besides the work-life balance, is going to be the benefits, what we offer. So state of California offers great medical, dental, and vision and retirement benefits. Retirement definitely is something that I am looking forward to with that pension, because I was not going to be getting that when I was in the private sector. So that definitely lifted a huge weight off my shoulders, and the lifetime health benefits that we get once we're vested in. So that was a huge thing to lift off my shoulders as well. We have amazing work-life balance, as we talked about, for our employees, along with a multitude of career development opportunities such as mentorships and leadership training, similar to what Daniel's doing right now. We aim to create leaders and provide employees with the necessary knowledge to carry out their work confidently. And I believe, Megan, did you drop that link in their chat box already for
I did.
salary and benefits? Perfect. I do also know that the state does offer student loan forgiveness through the U.S. Department of Education. If you guys have or need any more information on eligibility requirements, Megan's going to go ahead and drop a link in the chat box for that as well. So what do we pay? That's always the big question, right? So that's what everybody wants to know. Here we have different steps within the transportation surveying classification. As you can see right down at the bottom, we'll start from a range A and we'll go all the way up to a range D, depending on the license that you have. So range A is considered the entry level, or with the minimum qualifications being a bachelor's degree in surveying, surveying engineering, or surveying geomatics from an ABET accredited college. Or for those whose degrees are not listed, a land surveying in training or LSIT, or engineering in training EIT will be accepted as well. You would have to take a slightly different test to enter the state system, but there's definitely ways to go about it. This also shows you that in order to go from a range A all the way up to a range D, a California land surveyor license is required. And if you're a current transportation surveyor within our department, we'll assist you and cover the cost of licensing. Upon licensure, your application fees will be reimbursed and your renewals will be covered by the department as an employee. So Daniel, that's kind of what you're helping these students out with right now, right? Like these people that are just entering the workforce.
Well, I wouldn't know
Yep.
about their ranges,
The-
because
Are you helping them out with like any type of licensing or anything like that you were saying?
right now we're helping them pass their core competency to get into right-of-way engineering.
Got you. Okay. And then we also offer an internal program that our employees called the Transportation Survey Academy, that's the one that are you teaching that one?
Yeah, we're not teaching that one today, but we do teach that one as well.
Yeah. Since range C is 2 years of experience in range B or 3 years of experience with a bachelor's, the establishment of our internal course only requires current Caltrans surveyors 1 year in the academy to get to range C. So there are some benefits of being within Caltrans and kind of joining those academies that we have within to kind of help you grow. And then let's say somebody does have that professional engineer's license, and I believe you have yours as well, right, Daniel? And you hit that range D, you've been there for a little bit of time and you kind of want to further your career. We have party chiefs, seniors, and supervising surveyor positions available to advance into as well. So your career doesn't just end as a professional engineer or with that license, the professional surveyor license, everything like that. It'll keep going from there. So how do we apply? This is where it gets a little bit tricky, and we will specifically state that after this session, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. Applying to the state is a little bit different than applying private. Daniel, how long did you apply to the state for? Like when you first started your application to the state, was it a while?
Yeah, it took a little while. I mean, it took a 3 or 4 months or so to get in here. So
Okay.
just keep it. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure that just kind of see, like for me, I applied for a couple of years and I was applying completely wrong. That's the reason why I always ask. So the only way to apply for Caltrans is or any other state agency is through this website right here, calcareers.ca.gov. There's a 3-step process when you apply, which you'll create an account, take the transportation surveyor online examination, and then if you meet the minimum qualifications as discussed earlier, you can go ahead and start for applying for jobs. There may be some relocation incentives for those outside of California, but it just kind of sort of depends on if the department is looking for those. For all current Caltrans positions, you guys can go ahead and see the CalCareers link that Megan's gonna drop down below. But yes, if you guys do have any questions, of the people here right now attending, have any of you applied to Caltrans before? Or been like, have done at least one application through Caltrans? I guess you can put that in the chat just so I can kind of get a feel for it.
All right, Adrian said yes.
Okay.
And then we have a no. And then we have, Derek's been with Caltrans for 11 years. And we have another person who says they've applied to the jet positions a few times.
Okay, cool. So what Megan, do you have the link to the website that we had set up? The
Compass?
the Compass, yes.
Yeah, I'll put it in right now.
Go ahead and drop that Compass link in there. So this is what Megan's putting inside the chat right now is a website that we created to help people with the application process, because you do have to take an eligibility exam in order to become eligible for application or for the position. That is primarily the difference between state and private sector. Before you guys take that exam or anything like that, please reach out to us if you guys have any questions. Megan, go ahead and drop our Ask Recruitment inbox email in there. Reach out to us because there are some technicalities over there. And we want to make sure that you guys are applying properly. Even if you've applied before and just kind of want some reassurance, and we can help guide you and make sure that your application process is being handily or properly done to give you the best chance of getting in there. All right. So before we start the Q&A, everyone that's registered today can join us for an interview session tip that will be possibly held in the next coming weeks. If you're interested, go ahead and email us at askrecruitment.ca.gov. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat box, and then we'll go ahead and have myself or Daniel answer any of the questions that you guys might have. Megan, somebody said they were what is that one?
Yep. Somebody asked if we have summer internship opportunities. Russell, do you want to take this one?
Yes. So we do have summer, well, not necessarily summer internship in specific. So 1 second. Let me get the camera back on me. But what we have is it's called Student Assistant Program. The Student Assistant Program runs year round. It's pretty much a part-time job. It'll run year round. You'll have a max amount of hours that you can work overall throughout the whole entire year. Whatever department has the student assistant, very flexible with your hours. They understand that you need to pass or you need to graduate from school first in order to get the full-time job. And then when you're on break or certain situations like that, they open it up to you to be able to extend your hours. It's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So if you're not like, those are the hours. We have somebody on our team that was like, hey, there's some days where they only work 2 hours, 2 hours a day, basically, because they were off from school at a certain time. And you're working and gaining real actual information and knowledge. So it is a not just a summer internship, like I was saying, it is a year-round thing. And all of those jobs will be posted on calinterns.org. What Sabrina, what county are you in, or what county are you in within California? I would try to say. And Daniel, while we're waiting for her to answer, do you know of any student assistants inside your department right now? Daniel?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're talking to me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
do you know of any student assistants inside your department right now?
we do have a student assistant in our
Yeah. And they're doing pretty good work. Like the work that, have you gotten a chance to work with them one-on-one?
No, I haven't, but she comes in whenever, like you said, a couple hours every day, or she's in the office once a week, for the couple hours.
Perfect. Okay,
And
so
there, so
Sabrina said she resides in San Bernardino, but I'm going to school. Okay. So Sabrina, when you do before you get ready to apply to any positions or any of the student assistant positions, reach out to us at the or not Caltrans, but at the Ask Recruitment inbox. So that way we can help guide you with the Cal Interns website. So that way we know that you're applying in the right areas, because that website does get a little bit tricky since the Cal Interns website has the student assistant positions for every single state agency. So we just want to make sure that you're going to be applying to a Caltrans internship in your area properly. Cool. Now, what other questions do we have from anybody else here inside of this session today? I know I did see that somebody else was applying. I think, oh, Josh said that he applied to the jet position a few times. Josh, if you can't, when you applied to the jet position, did you go through the 3 steps, and were you taking the test as well? The eligibility, or we like to call it the eligibility exam or the self-assessment. I think I saw that and that popped up in my head when I saw Josh posted there. And then Derek said he's been with Caltrans for 11 years. I might have to unmute Derek and have Derek give us a little bit of insight on 11 years, because that's quite a bit of time already too.
11 years in surveying, or
Oh, listen, Derek, have you been with what department are you in with Caltrans? Has it been 11 years with surveying? Maintenance. Okay. What division? Or not what division, what district? See if I need there.
D7?
With the culvert inspection program, D7. Nice. Very nice. That you guys have a really nice building right there in downtown. That that D7 building is massive. Okay, so Josh, you said you did the JET exam and even had 2 or 3 interviews. Okay, so my advice for you, Josh, when you are doing the exams and everything, just make sure that you have eligibility still. So reach out to us at Ask Recruitment, so that way we can help guide you through to ensure that you're having eligibility is still active, and then we can kind of help you out with certain things with the application process. So that way we can help out, because you said you've had 2 or 3 interviews, but we just want to make sure we're helping you capitalize and hopefully get you in as soon as possible. I did see also, who was it that said that they were Corinne? You said you were looking to go in up into District 1. Are you currently graduated? Are you graduating? Let me actually unmute you real quick. Just see see if it'll allow me to unmute. I don't think it will. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. So Josh said, is there anything you recommend getting? Fire recommends GIS, ATV experience. I was wondering. Daniel, is there any licensing that you recommend getting for somebody within surveying? Like any certificates, licensing? if they're looking for an entry-level position to get in?
Yeah, you'd want to do your LSIT first. So,
Okay.
get on some any type of conferences or anything like that. They usually offer a LSIT training course.
Okay.
I know Fresno State does it. I know that CLSA, get on with CLSA. And then for any type of certificates, and he said GIS within the, what was it, Cal Fire?
Yeah.
So I would just,
Cal
there's
Fire recommends GIS and ATV experience.
so for Cal Fire, I would recommend doing any type of the online schooling for GIS. There's a lot of schools out there for GIS.
Yeah. And then also, Josh, I know if you're looking to get in as a jet first, you can get in as a jet first and then get your EIT, which will help you with their land surveying as well, right? If I'm not if I remember correctly, I believe with an EIT you can get range A as well. So we can definitely help to make sure that you're applying properly and that things are in line for you to get that jet position, Josh. So Corinne, you are currently in school for geomatics. When is your expected graduation date?
This spring.
Okay. So I would suggest for you then the spring semester. So let's say that's about May, June. Um, Reach out to us in January when you're getting ready to go back into schooling, so that way we can help you out with ensuring that everything is in line. Um, and we can start kind of helping assist you with anything to get your ducks in a little bit order, and you can start actually applying a little bit earlier, because all you would need to do is make sure you have your degree and your certificate at the time of hiring. So within the state, it does take a little bit of time to go through the hiring process, but we want to make sure that we can get you to apply earlier. So that way your application is in the works, and that way we minimize that lull in from when you graduate to when you start work. So we would definitely recommend applying about 2 to 3 months ahead of time, but we want to make sure that we get everything properly kind of set up for you, which would mean applying in February, March to be ready by May. Yeah. You guys have any other questions for us? Derek, are there any other T&D positions opening up for surveying in D7? Derek, you know what? I'll be able let us Megan, go ahead and take down Derek's information real quick.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and let me reach out to a couple of people, and we'll see if there's any other T&Ds opening up specifically for D7, and seeing what is out there. I know up here at headquarters, we've had a couple of people that recently went on T&Ds, but not specifically for surveying. So let us reach out to a couple of liaisons and contacts to see what we can do for T&Ds for you. And just for your everybody else's information, what Derek is talking about, you guys, is if let's say you get into a position somewhere else, there's opportunities within Caltrans to do what we call a T&D or training and development, where if you want to move from positions like how Derek is looking to move from maintenance over into surveying, there are potential opportunities to do certain things like that through various career growth opportunities. We have somebody right now that's going from human resources position into a planner position. So they're doing transportation planning now, and they're doing a couple of training and development situations right there. So the opportunities are really good to move around. Megan, did you see any other questions that I might have missed?
There is one more. Do we have time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is there any pathways to surveying jobs without a bachelor's degree?
There are. Daniel, do you want to kind of explain that out a little bit?
Yeah, so land surveying is kind of unique. You can actually go into the field and start working now and actually get that experience. So there's two facets of land surveying. It's the field and office. You can actually start facilitating that field work right away. Even with a mom and pop shop, or up to Caltrans. I mean, it just depends on what you're comfortable with, or getting into a Jets position, like they were discussing, and you can get experience that way without having any experience.
Yeah, so you can get the experience in it, but then you would just need to get the license, right? Correct, like an EIT or the land surveyor one that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, so then after that, you would want to get into some schooling, like getting into training courses and whatnot to get at your LSIT. And
LSIT.
I think somebody was saying that they're in school right now for geomatics. I would recommend, since you are in a geomatics school, actually start sitting for that. Get that experience trying to sit, even if you don't pass, sit in there, see how it is, see how it feels. I mean,
And that's the biggest one that I've learned from speaking to a lot of for you, Corinne, you were talking about being in geomatics. And Megan can vouch for this. Every classification or job that we know of that requires a license encourages their students to take that test while they're still in school. And the reason for it being is that the information is fresh in your head. So you're not having to ready for to potentially pass and try to the time frames aren't as far out there when you're trying to recollect all that information. So a lot of times they're telling you, hey, take it during when you're still in school, when you're still doing your certificates. That way everything is still fresh in your head, even if you don't pass, but you actually know what's going to be on the test now. So you have some exposure to it, and then that's kind of the best way to go about it. I think I saw another question pop up, Megan.
Yeah, is there going to be any recruiting events coming up?
Sabrina, are you talking about just the recruitment events for Caltrans or for surveying in general? Oh, okay. Are you looking for more virtual or more in person? Sorry for the specifics on this. Okay. So for the virtual events, I am looking to potentially host another one of these career connections pretty soon, actually. We do have a couple of the surveying positions open right now, and I was talking to Daniel earlier about trying to get another surveyor in the air, like a land surveyor, so that way we can bring them on to do another career connection. So that way, if you have any other questions that pop up, you'll be able to rejoin us in that session and ask us any of those questions in specific. In terms of any other virtuals, I can double check to see what district were you looking at joining again? Because I can see if somebody in your district is also hosting anything as well.
San Bernardino goes to school in Burbank.
You go to school where?
Burbank.
Okay. So I can double check it to see then if I have somebody in that area that will
But
be able
also,
to.
follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Handshake. We do post all of our virtual events as upcoming events. So if you follow us, you'll be able to see notification of those.
Cool. Yeah, and then I'll double check too as well, Sabrina. We'll kind of get back to you on that one and send you an email to see. But I will be for sure posting this back up and getting another career connections event up as soon as possible. And then also, if you guys know anybody else that's going to be interested in possibly looking at any of the land surveying events or any information for it, please feel free to reach out to us with their email. I'm more than happy to send anything out. But other than that, does anybody else on my panel have anything else to add about land surveying or what we have going on helping assist? Daniel, anything?
No, for land surveying though, join CLSA, the California Land Surveyors Association. They give you a lot of training opportunities if you didn't know.
Cool.
I mean,
go ahead, finish.
Yeah, just for everything they're hosting, and they have a lot of learning development on there. They have speakers, I think they even have a student rate and everything like that. So,
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Megan, anything from you?
No, think we covered it all. I even captured the chat box. If anybody has any other questions we didn't get to, I'll be able to message them.
Perfect. All right. So just want to go ahead and thank everybody once again. Thank you for all of your time. We'll go ahead and reach out to you guys with any other specific sort of questions and be on the lookout for the next Land Surveyor session.